How does a Kurdish-born social worker from Turkey end up falling madly in love with one of Jamaica's most infamous dancehall icons, while he's locked behind prison bars? Sounds like something out of a novel or a dramatic movie script, right? But this story is no fiction. It's real, it's raw, and it's completely unexpected. In a world where love is often reduced to swipes, likes, and status updates, this story reminds us of something deeper, a bond that defied logic, borders, and bars. This is the epic journey of Sidum Uzurk and Vybz Kartel, a love born in confinement, tested by time, and now unleashed into freedom. Sidum's roots, from Kurdistan to London before the Jamaican tabloids ever whispered her name, before social media lit up with rumors. Sidum Uzurk lived a life of service and silence. Born in Turkey to a Kurdish family, Sidum's early years were shaped by cultural complexity and quiet resilience. She emigrated to the United Kingdom at a young age, adapting to new languages, new systems, and a world far different from her birthplace. She was drawn to the world of psychology, sociology, and philosophy, not just to learn, but to help. Her calling led her to become a social worker, a demanding yet noble profession. Working with vulnerable children, at-risk youth, and marginalized adults across some of London's most difficult neighborhoods, Sidum spent her days navigating systems that too often failed those in need. Her life was structured, compassionate, and socially conscious. The kind of life that seems worlds away from the high-octane, controversy-filled world of dancehall. But fate had a different rhythm in store. Discovering Kartel, the pen that lit the fire. Like many across the globe, Sidem was captivated by the music of Adidja Palmer, better known as Vybz Kartel. His lyrical genius, his brutally honest portrayals of life in Jamaica, and his ability to be both provocative and profound made him unforgettable. Sidum, who valued expression and complexity, felt a deep intellectual pull to his work. In 2015, she took a chance. She wrote him a letter, just a fan note expressing admiration. But she didn't expect a response. Yet, Kartel wrote back. What followed was far from ordinary. What started as a simple exchange of words slowly blossomed into something deeper. They began writing each other regularly. Thoughts turned into philosophies. Emotions turned into poetry. Jokes, frustrations, dreams. They shared everything they could within the limits of monitored prison communication. In a world where even basic interaction was controlled, they found freedom in letters. And somehow, through ink and wire, a love was born. The leap of faith, crossing oceans for a visit. By 2019, after years of correspondence and calls, Sidum did something that shocked everyone around her. She booked a flight to Jamaica. She made the journey not as a tourist, but as a woman deeply in love. Her destination, Tower Street Adult Correctional Center, one of the Caribbean's most infamous prisons. Friends and family were stunned. "You're flying halfway across the world to visit a man serving a life sentence for murder?" they asked. But Sidum didn't care. Their first meeting was emotional. Despite the coldness of the environment, the guards, the restrictions, the walls, it was a warm and affirming experience. Their connection was real. She returned, again and again. Eventually, she made the most drastic move of all. She relocated to Jamaica to be closer to Kartel. It wasn't a fairy tale move, it was a decision rooted in love, patience, and defiance. From wifey to fiancée, a prison engagement. Initially, they used playful terms, hubby, wifey. It was endearing, familiar. But one day, Kartel decided it wasn't enough. As Sidum would later recall, he told her, "You're not just my wifey. We're getting married. You're my fiancée. No ring, no spotlight, just sincerity." This wasn't the engagement people were used to, but it was theirs. Then came a pivotal moment. A 2022 interview with Fox 5 New York. Kartel appeared on screen, smiling through the prison glass, and called Sidem "my queen." With those two words, their once private love became a global headline, public backlash, and quiet strength. The internet exploded. Everyone had an opinion. Some praised their story as a rare example of loyalty in a cynical world, a love that defied every odd. Others dragged Sidum into controversy. Critics accused her of clout chasing, of being manipulated, or worse, of disrespecting Tanisha Shorty Johnson, Kartel's longtime partner and the mother of his children. But Sidum stayed silent. No rants, no public battles. She focused on what mattered, her relationship. To many young Gaza fans, especially women, Sidum became a quiet icon of devotion, proof that loyalty still exists. Holding it down. Through the darkest years, for nearly a decade, Sidem and Kartel endured a love shaped by steel bars, 20-minute phone calls, censored letters, and monitored visits. But what they built emotionally was powerful. Kartel often wrote poetry for her. She cooked his favorite foods and brought them during visits. She supported his legal cases, his creative endeavors, and even business ideas. She wasn't just a partner, she was a lifeline. And Kartel knew it. The Freedom Shockwave, 2025. Then came the moment no one expected. In 2025, Kartel's conviction was overturned. The courts cited evidence tampering and due process violations. After more than a decade behind bars, Vybz Kartel walked free. Waiting for him outside? Sidum. Their reunion was quiet, personal, and tearful. A moment they had dreamed of during those long nights apart. But Kartel had one more surprise. In a private hotel suite filled with candles and music, he proposed again. This time with a ring. And this time, the whole world saw it. A new chapter begins today. Sidum and Kartel are embracing their new life as a couple in the spotlight. They've launched a YouTube channel where they share their story, offer insights into mental health, long-distance love, justice, and, of course, music. Kartel is back in the studio, his creative fire reignited. Meanwhile, Sidem is focusing on her own mission. She's developing a podcast centered around stories of women who've loved through adversity. Whether through prison walls, immigration struggles, or long-distance heartache, there's even talk of a memoir, a Netflix docuseries, and yes, maybe even a wedding special. But if you know Sidum, you know she's not about the spotlight. She's about purpose, passion, and loyalty. The love that shook dancehall. In a time where relationships are often fleeting, Sidem and Kartel's bond stands as something rare. Their love wasn't built on luxury, fame, or perfect moments. It was built through waiting, through hope, through letters, and promises whispered across cold wires. She believed in him when all he had was a pen and a cell. He trusted her when the world saw her as an outsider. Now, they're building a new chapter together, free, united, and stronger than ever. Their story isn't simple. It's controversial. It's messy. It challenges what we think we know about love, judgment, and loyalty. But in its grit lies its power. So what do you think? Is this one of the greatest love stories dancehall has ever seen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a moment from the most unforgettable saga in dancehall history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.